How's it going, guys? CShay here. Today I'll be doing my first Q&A, basically taking questions that you guys have asked me over time and answering them as best as I can. This video was supposed to be out a while ago when I hit my first 1K on the channel, but of course things being delayed, and then of course wanting to gather the questions from you guys in time, it took a bit of time, but here we go. Also, again, I would love to do a quick shout out and thanks to all of you guys who have been supporting me since day one of this. This is a huge blow up. It's been pretty crazy, and honestly, I can't thank you enough. All of you that are watching, all of you that subscribe, hitting that like, showing that love and support in the comments, and even subscribing to the Patreon. I do appreciate all of you guys. Also, if you guys haven't already, while you're here, might as well do all the above. Yeah, enjoy yourselves here. Aside from that, let's get this thing started. First question, how do you say your name and where did it come from? Okay, so basically it's pronounced CShay, like the letter C and then Shay. Oddly enough, Shay is actually my middle name, but I like it. It's a nice little strong Irish name, and I just appreciate it, so I've stuck with it. Basically, the story with CShay is years ago when I moved out here to California for college. I came out here for college to actually go for acting in films and television, and then I met the rave scene. I got sucked into it and started doing promotions for a bunch of local events, and even started DJing for them as well. And it kind of just, I got sucked into it so much. I was part of this big nice community, and it felt really nice. Essentially, one night I was leaving a venue, and it was towards the end of the night, and one of the head promoters of the show I usually went to as an attendee came running after me as I was crossing the street, yelling out CShay. I was not sure who they were yelling out for. I just heard CShay, and I didn't know what was going on. And I knew my name was like Shay, and the C is like for my first name, so I was kind of curious. I looked around, I'm like, it sounded like it was coming towards me. I turned around, he's running towards me, yelling out, CShay, hey CShay, wait up. I'm like, me? Who, me? And basically he then explained to me, he's like, yeah, you, and told me how a lot of promoters just called me CShay, and I wasn't sure why. I was like, okay, I'll take it, sure. Apparently it was a huge thing. There was a whole Facebook like page for me and everything. I was like, what is this? So I don't know, I had this secret like fan base of me for being just this entity in the local scene, and I hadn't even known for the longest time, and it was humbling, but it was funny at the same time. So the name stuck since they already came up with it for me, and since then I progressed over time, DJing, performing, producing, live streaming on Twitch, doing YouTube videos, and I just ended up I'm gonna keep the name. It's my name. It's made me, and so why not, right? But that's the story of the name. That's where it came from. And yeah, I mean, you guys call me Shay. It's a lot easier for some people, I guess, not putting C, and I don't mind that. So, Shay's still my middle name, so it's not wrong. All right, second question. When did you really start making content? So I had a Twitch channel since 2014. So I did do live streaming really terribly on a laptop back then, and then progressed over time, of course, to get the computer I have now. For YouTube, I've had YouTube channels since 2015, I believe, and it was very cringe. It was very cringeworthy, as they honestly still are, to be honest, in my opinion. A lot of it was mainly gaming videos. I even did some monologue videos back in the day for when I was in college for acting, and just started putting out a couple monologues here and there. Those weren't too great either, but they were there. So essentially, I think I started back in 2014, 2015, and ever since then, it was spaced out until the last couple of years, and that's when everything kind of like was more focused on the content. What brought you to deciding to work behind the camera, both streaming and YouTube, etc.? So back in high school, actually even before then, back when I was in middle school and early high school, I used to do I used to hang out with a lot of friends who, one specifically had his mom's video camera, and we just kind of do what kids do. We just like did these little very, very, very tacky and cringeworthy little home videos of us doing something dumb, like, oh, we have little toy guns and we're gonna pretend we're going around this house. And it's just, you know, kids do what they do with a video camera at this point. But it was essentially like that. It started, and then out in high school, towards junior and senior year, I was part of my TV. My high school had a local cable network for the high school sports, as well as just local news when it came down to our area. And I was part of the TV network there, and that was awkward. But it was fun, and I enjoyed that a lot. And I wanted to, at first I wanted to take part in the radio station because of the music stuff. I was DJing since 17, and I just loved music, and I still do. So I at first, since it was basically the radio and TV were both one class technically, but the radio station only took 1 or 2 people per semester in each class. So I didn't get selected for the radio, so I was like kind of left over for the TV, which for a very quick moment I was kind of upset about, but it was like, okay, fine, whatever. But in time, I ended up just enjoying being behind the camera and on the camera, to where I wanted to kind of do more. And that's what kind of led me to wanting to go to college for acting specifically. Over time in college, I learned to edit and do everything. Basically, I can storyboard, screenwrite, film, edit, and act in one video all myself. Basically this on YouTube. When it came to streaming, it was kind of more of a live aspect of all that stuff. So it just made sense. And yeah, over time, it just gradually started from high school and moved on to where I am now. What got you into doing reaction videos? Well, I think it was about a year ago, a little over a year, maybe 2 years ago actually at this point. I'd say about 2 years ago, I started just running into some of these reaction videos that people have done, whether it's to TV shows or movies or trailers or video games, whatever the case. I started watching them, and I started to, over time, enjoy them more and more. I mean, you guys who watch mine a lot understand the feeling. It's like you get to live vicariously through someone else's first time experience of something that you may have already seen. And I enjoyed that feeling, and I wanted to kind of start doing those myself. So starting this year, I was like, I want to put some of those out and see how it works out. And obviously, we're here now, and that's most of the viewers here. So I appreciate you guys, and I understand it. What's the biggest challenge you've faced when starting out? I personally would say exposure is the biggest challenge when it comes to starting out, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, wherever. The biggest challenge would be exposure. It often also varies on the content, what you're creating, and the quality of it, and also the hashtags. But you know, it really varies. It really depends. My stuff, for me specifically, my gaming stuff is still kind of low par when it comes to viewership, but as soon as I started doing the reactions, you guys went crazy. So obviously it depends on the content, and sometimes some content does better than others, and it's just kind of like the challenge you have to face when it comes to creating content as well. But yeah, the biggest challenge would be exposure first off. Last but not least, what's something that people underestimate when working as a content creator? I would say your voice. I feel like a lot of content creators take advantage of their ability to really project some kind of positivity when it comes to their content, whether it's teaching something or trying to stand up for something that's right. There's a lot of people who also make use of their ability and their voice and try to make a difference whether it comes to charities or just pointing out things that they try to really change people's aspects and ideas about things for the better usually. But some people who know they have the ability to speak up about things, to really try to put an effort in changing things for the better in this world or around their own lives even. Sometimes they take advantage of it and they underestimate the power of their own voice sometimes, and we need to really get them to understand that they can make a difference too. But that's going to be it for today's Q&A about myself and my thoughts. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what other questions you would like to get answered, and maybe in the next video I'll start doing these a little more often, or maybe start planning out like every month or two, just get a quick Q&A of your guys' questions that you would like me to answer, and we'll see how that goes. Aside from that though, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Until next time, take care and take it easy.